Happy Monday, everybody. This is Danette, and the time has finally come that when I have to read anything, I have to break out the reading glasses. So I apologize if there's a glare on the glasses. If I hold my head a certain way, I don't notice the glare, but I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm 44, and so it's a rite of passage, right, when you have to get reading glasses. So I've struggled way too many times during classes and making videos, not being able to read the tiny print. So I decided to let go of any issues I had and just put them on. So I wanted to do a quick video today and explain to you guys a super easy way that I have learned about watching Intro to Oils class from Ange Peters. She has Whole Fit. She has amazing content. I was watching one of her older webinars on Intro to Oils, and the way that she described 3 categories of oils was genius. So I even explained it this way to my 9-year-old son, and like the light bulb went off in his head and he totally understood. So I wanted to share with you guys that might not have a chemistry background or are super sciencey, and really help you understand that these essential oils that we're using are scientifically proven to work effectively in our bodies, okay? So most of you know that in some previous videos that I've done, oils are chemical constituents, right? So there's linoleuls, there's esters, there's alcohols, there's phenols, there's all of these different chemical constituents in doTERRA's essential oils, okay? I'm gonna talk about 3 different categories and why they work effectively in your body, and why it's important for blending, and why it's important to use different oils in different sequence for optimal health and wellness, okay? So I have some notes so I don't forget anything. Okay, so we have over 100 trillion cells in our body, and they communicate with each other through electrical pulses, through our hormone system. That's our body's main way to communicate, is through our cells. So when you talk about toxins in the environment, in products, in medications, in food, in GMOs, in anything basically that we are exposed to in the environment, they can actually block the receptor sites on your cells. Okay, so on your cell, you have these little, they're kind of like antennas, and those are the receptor sites. Those are the way that your cells in your body communicate with each other, right? So toxins, what they do is they gunk up those receptor sites on your cell so they can't communicate effectively. So there are 3 different categories of oils that we're going to talk about. The first one is phenols, and this is the easy, simple way that I explained it to my 9-year-old, but I'm going to explain it to you. So phenols are kind of like the cleaning crew, the cleaning company, right? Their job is to not really attack, but go after all of that junk that is gunking up the receptor sites on your cell. So their purpose is to remove the clutter around the cell and open up the receptor sites so it can effectively communicate the proper message in your body, okay? So some examples of some oils that are high phenols, these are going to be clove, basil, fennel, melaleuca, peppermint, cinnamon, oregano, and thyme. And you'll notice that most of these are the hotter oils, okay? So these ones you're going to want to definitely make sure that you're diluting with your carrier oil, like a fractionated coconut oil, when those are applied topically to the skin, because they can provide a pretty intense warming sensation, okay? So phenols, think of your cell, the receptor sites, toxins are going to gunk that up. The phenol oils, their job is to remove away the toxins that have blocked that receptor site, okay? So the next one we're going to talk about is the classification of oils that are in the sesquiterpene family, okay? These are kind of like the police officers, and what their job is, basically once the gunk is removed from the cell, they can actually get into the cell and they can interpret what the wrong message is that the cell is being sent out. So kind of imagine your cell's kind of like a house, and there was a bunch of clutter by the door, right? The phenols came and they moved away the clutter so the door can be opened. Now the police officers come in the house and there's fighting going on. There's an argument. There are people that are not telling the truth. They're sending mixed messages, right? The police officers come in and they figure out, they identify what message is being sent out. So in your cell, what wrong message is being sent out to your body, okay? The sesquiterpenes, they help that cell to identify the garbled up, the misinformation that that cell is sending out. So an example of some sesquiterpenes are cedarwood, patchouli, sandalwood, ginger, myrrh, vetiver, chamomile, black pepper, ylang ylang, lemon, spikenard, lavender, helichrysum, and melissa. So those are not all of them. Those are just the top oils that are very high in the sesquiterpene chemical constituents, okay? So the next class that we're going to talk about is the monoterpenes, okay? These are kind of like the ultimate doctor, the healer, the therapist in your body, right? So they're going to go into the cell. So the phenols have cleared away the toxins. So the sesquiterpenes have access into the cell. Sesquiterpenes are going to diagnose any miscommunication that's going on in the cell. The monoterpenes, they know the exact correct message that that cell needs to spread and communicate through the body. That's why they're the doctor, the therapist. They know the truth, and they're going to help that cell send out the correct positive message that's going to create health and wellness in your body. So some examples of some monoterpenes are going to be juniper berry, grapefruit oil, orange, frankincense, cypress, marjoram, balance, balsam fir, rosemary, sage, thyme, bergamot, eucalyptus, lime, dill, coriander, and white fir. So, you guys, if you think of it that way, that's why it's so important with doTERRA's proprietary blends, because they have a whole science-based research where they've done hours and hours and hours and hours of studies showing what these oils do and how they interact and how they communicate with the cells in your body and what oils to put together in blends because of how they work in harmony in your body. So this is why it's important when we talk about stacking oils. So like you would want to use a peppermint first because peppermint is a phenol that's going to help remove the toxins. Okay, then you would want to invite a sesquiterpene like cedarwood or patchouli that's going to go into the cell and figure out what miscommunication is going on in that cell, and then follow it up with a monoterpene that's going to help that cell correct the message that it needs to send out to the body. I'm going to post a link with this video to the doTERRA website, and there's a whole entire study session that you can follow on the chemistry of essential oils. It's going to have a list of these oils, and it's going to show the percentage of how high of a phenol is a certain oil, what's the highest percentage of a sesquiterpene. I think oh gosh, what is it? I believe it is cedarwood is 98% the highest sesquiterpene that doTERRA offers. So if you're interested in a little bit more deeper study on the chemical constituents and sort of the chemistry behind why essential oils work in the body, that's going to be a great study for you to go through. doTERRA has it all laid out with slides, and it's very well organized and put together. So I hope that you've enjoyed this pretty simple, basic explanation of 3 classes of oils and how and why you should be using them and how they work effectively in your body. So if you have any questions at all, make sure you comment below. I'm always happy to answer questions, and I hope you've learned something from this little short chemistry lesson from Danette. Thanks, guys. Have a great Monday.